Welcome back, movie lovers. Today, we're diving into the web-slinging world of everyone's favorite neighborhood superhero in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Released in 2017, this movie brings Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a big way. Let's swing right in. Directed by Jon Watts, Spider-Man: Homecoming stars Tom Holland as Peter Parker, a high school student trying to balance the demands of teenage life with his responsibilities as Spider-Man. This film follows the events of Captain America: Civil War, where Peter was recruited by Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, played by the incomparable Robert Downey Jr. The story kicks off with Peter back in Queens, New York, trying to impress Tony Stark and prove he's more than just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But things get complicated when he stumbles upon a gang selling advanced weapons made from stolen alien technology. Enter Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. Tom Holland brings a youthful energy to Peter Parker, making him relatable and full of charm. His interactions with his best friend, Ned, played by Jacob Batalon, provide some of the film's funniest moments. And let's not forget the Vulture. Michael Keaton's portrayal adds depth to the villain, showing us that bad guys can have understandable motives too. One of the standout scenes is the Washington Monument rescue. It's a heart-pounding moment that showcases Spider-Man's bravery and resourcefulness. Another highlight is the confrontation between Peter and the Vulture, where Peter realizes that Adrian Toomes is the father of his crush, Liz. Talk about awkward. Unlike previous Spider-Man films, Homecoming focuses more on Peter's high school life, blending superhero action with the trials of teenage years. The movie's tone is light-hearted and fun, staying true to the character's comic book roots. Peter Parker balances his life as an ordinary high school student in Queens with his superhero alter ego Spider-Man, and finds himself on the trail of a new menace prowling the skies of New York City. A young Peter Parker Spider-Man begins to navigate his newfound identity as web-slinging superhero Spider-Man. Thrilled by his experience with the Avengers, Peter returns home, where he lives with his Aunt May, under the watchful eye of his new mentor Tony Stark. Peter tries to fall back into his normal daily routine, distracted by thoughts of proving himself to be more than just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But when the Vulture emerges as a new villain, everything that Peter holds most important will be threatened. In the aftermath of Captain America: Civil War 2016, Peter Parker, a 15-year-old sophomore and Tony Stark's prot, finds himself back in Queens, New York, trying to juggle high school and his superhero alter ego. As Peter is on pins and needles waiting for his mentor to give him a chance to prove his mettle and become an official Avenger, Stark chooses to keep Peter on a short leash instead, fearful that the boy might bite off more than he can chew. And then, the Vulture, a winged super criminal brandishing advanced Shitori weaponry, emerges. Of course, Parker sees his arrival as a golden opportunity to demonstrate that he has what it takes to be part of the Earth's mightiest team of superheroes. But is Spider-Man ready to be more than the neighborhood's friendly, web-slinging defender? Following the Battle of New York, Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton and his salvage company are contracted to clean up the city. But their operation is taken over by the Department of Damage Control (DOD), a partnership between Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., and the US government headed by Anne-Marie Tyne Daly. This puts Toomes out of commission as he loses the contract. Toomes had invested a large amount of money in the business. Enraged at being driven out of business, Toomes persuades his employees to keep the Shitori technology they have already scavenged and use it to create and sell advanced weapons. Among the salvaged materials are power sources for the alien weapons, which Toomes figures out to use in new and advanced Earth weapons. 8 years later, Toomes has a thriving illegal weapons business based on the Shitori technology. Toomes has designed a flying, armored suit for himself, which he uses to salvage for more alien parts. Peter Parker Tom Holland is drafted into the Avengers by Stark to help with an internal dispute in the events of Civil War. After the events in Berlin, Peter resumes his studies at the Midtown School of Science and Technology. While he waits for a formal invitation from Stark to join the Avengers Initiative. 2 months later, Stark tells him he is not yet ready to become a full Avenger. May Parker Marisa Tomei is Peter's aunt. Harold Happy Hogan John Favreau is Stark's head of security and looking after Parker. Parker quits his school's academic decathlon team to spend more time focusing on his crime-fighting activities as Spider-Man. Parker has a crush on Liz, who is on the decathlon team, while school tomboy Michelle believes Peter is a loser for spying on Liz. One night, after preventing criminals from robbing an ATM with their advanced weapons from Tombs, Parker returns to his Queens apartment where his best friend Ned Jacob Batalon discovers his secret identity. Peter informs Happy about criminals he encountered with advanced alien weapons. But Happy dismisses it as petty crime and tells Peter to stay away from crime fighting. Happy also informs Peter that Stark sold the Stark Tower and the whole Avengers team is moving upstate. On another night, Peter notices big blasts happening at a distance and goes to investigate. Parker comes across Tombs associates Jackson Bryce Hawker, Logan Marshall Green and Herman Schultz Bokeem Woodbine, selling weapons to local criminal Aaron Davis Donald Glover. Parker saves Davis, and then pursues those criminals across the city. Tombs arrives on his winged suit, after being alerted by Herman. Peter is caught by Tombs and dropped in a lake, nearly drowning after becoming tangled in a parachute built into his suit. He is rescued by Stark, who is monitoring the Spider-Man suit he gave Parker and warns him against further involvement with the criminals. Stark was speaking to Peter via a drone suit. After the drone suit leaves, Peter finds the alien technology weapons nearby. Tombs is mad at Bryce for firing the weapons in the open, but Bryce simply doesn't care. Tombs threatens to fire Bryce, but Bryce says that he can expose Tombs and his entire illegal weapons operation to the Dog and to the Avengers. Tombs accidentally kills Bryce with one of their weapons, and Schultz becomes the new Shocker. Parker and Ned study the weapon left behind by Bryce, removing its power core. Parker finds that Schultz has tracked the weapon to his school, where Ned and he were conducting experiments on it. Peter follows Schultz and puts a tracking device on his. When a tracking device on Schultz leads to Maryland, Parker rejoins the decathlon team and accompanies them to Washington, D.C. for their national tournament. Ned and Parker disable the tracker Stark implanted in the Spider-Man suit and unlock its advanced features. Peter tracks down Schultz and finds that he is tracking a dog truck for Tombs. Parker tries to stop Tombs from stealing weapons from a Dick truck, but is trapped inside the truck, causing him to miss the decathlon tournament. When he discovers that the power core is an unstable Shitori grenade which Ned has been carrying in his backpack ever since they experimented on the weapon in school. Parker races to the Washington Monument where the core explodes. The core was activated after it passes through an X-ray scanning machine and traps Ned and their friends in an elevator. Evading local authorities, Parker saves his friends, including his fellow classmate and crush Liz Laura Harrier. Peter's future girlfriend Michelle M.J. Jones Zendaya is also part of the academic decathlon team that Peter joined in order to get to D.C. Returning to New York City, Parker analyzes his video recorded by his suit and identifies Davis. Peter believes that apprehending the criminals will surely get Stark to invite Peter to the Avengers, and he wants that at all costs. Peter tracks and persuades Davis to reveal Tombs' whereabouts. Aboard the Staten Island ferry, Parker captures Tombs' new buyer Mac Gargan Michael Mando. But Tombs escapes, and a malfunctioning weapon tears the ferry in half. Stark helps Parker save the passengers before admonishing him for his recklessness and taking away his suit. Parker returns to his high school life, and eventually asks Liz to go to the homecoming dance with him. On the night of the dance, Parker learns that Liz is Tombs' daughter, deducing Parker's secret identity. Tombs threatens retaliation if he interferes with his plans. During the dance, Parker realizes Tombs is planning to hijack a Dick plane transporting weapons from Avengers Tower to the team's new headquarters. He dons his old homemade Spider-Man suit and races to Tombs' lair. He is first ambushed by Schultz but defeats him with the help of Ned. At the lair, Toomes destroys the building's support beams and leaves Parker to die. Parker escapes the rubble and intercepts the plane, steering it to crash on the beach near Coney Island. He and Toomes continue fighting, ending with Parker saving Toomes' life after some unstable material explodes, and leaving him for the police along with the plane's cargo. After her father's arrest, Liz moves away, and Parker declines an invitation from Stark to join the Avengers full-time. Stark returns Parker's suit, which he puts on at his apartment just as his Aunt May walks in. In a mid-credits scene, an incarcerated Gargan approaches Toomes in prison. Gargan has heard that Toomes knows Spider-Man's real identity, but Toomes denies this. John Watts, director of Clown and Cop Car, perfects the character and charm of Spider-Man that we all love from the comics without doing disservice to either fans of both the Raimi and Amazing Spider-Man franchises with a fun superhero movie zing with joy with its great cast and characters, big and small, as well as an amazing performance from Tom Holland, who brilliantly combines what Maguire and Garfield brought to the character by truly demonstrating the differences and similarities between the awkward nerd Peter Parker and the quippy crime-fighting Spider-Man. The film also gives many critics of Marvel's lack of great villains what they want most, a relatable villain that is as, if not more, interesting than the hero itself, and not only is great adversary physically but also psychologically, and we see this with Michael Keaton's excellent portrayal of the Vulture. What Spider-Man Homecoming does best, however, is its attention to detail and world building put into the town of Queens, which feels more real and believable than any other fictional world we have seen in the MCU, making Spider-Man Homecoming one of the best chapters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and another great example for future superhero movies to learn from. With a strong cast, engaging story, and plenty of action, Spider-Man Homecoming is a refreshing take on the Spider-Man saga. It's a must-watch for Marvel fans and anyone who loves a good superhero story. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more movie reviews and summaries. Leave a comment below letting us know your favorite part of Spider-Man Homecoming. Until next time, keep swinging, movie fans.